Now I heartily welcome a resource person for today's session, that is 19/6/2020, Ms. Sheila Manoranjitham. We will have a short introduction about her. I request Nandita to give the welcome address.
A beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset. Good morning and a warm welcome to everyone. It's a tremendous pleasure to extend a word of welcome to everyone who are present with us. I feel extremely honored to introduce our guest, Ms. Sheila Manoranjitham ma'am. She is an analytics consultant at Larsen and Turbo Infotech. She is an innovative professional having more than 9 years of experience in data and business analytics. She has proven her ability to develop and train teams on technical skills. She is an expert in data warehouse design, development, and BA report generation. She is very proficient in the use of SQL for developing complex stored procedures, user profiles, and relational database models. She is experienced in the data modeling techniques. She has a working knowledge of Microsoft Office application and also in the excellent team player with good communication and documentation skills. Ms. Sheila Manoranjitham ma'am was a wealth insurance advisor at IDBA Federal Life Insurance Company. She also worked as a lecturer at Department of Computer Science in Trinity College of Arts and Science for Women with 1 year of experience, and also the HOD at the Department of Computer Science in Subramaniam College of Arts and Science. She has the certificate of Business Analytics Professional and also diploma in RDBMS. Don't worry about being successful, but work towards being significant and the success will naturally follow. So we are so excited towards today's webinar on data science application and use cases. Last but not least, I would like to show my thankfulness to our faculty members for conducting such a stimulating event, which is going to be very informative, and hope this section will be very interactive and useful. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Nandita. Along with that, I would like to add few things about Sheila. She has come. She's my colleague. We have both have studied in Amnashlingam Deemed University, and she also worked as a lecturer in CSA Bishop Appasamy College. I welcome Sheila. You can continue it up.
Thank you, Rajni. Thank you so much. And thank you for the wonderful introduction. Who's her name?
Nandita.
Nandita. Thank you, Nandita. Thank you so much. I am glad to be part of this well-organized webinar. I extend my appreciation to all the staff members and students of Computer Science Department for being an invaluable part of this webinar. And thank you once again for giving this opportunity. And I'm going to share my screen. Able to see my screen, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Right.
Thank you. And here, my topic is data science applications and use cases. Hope you all heard about the term data science. Any idea about data science?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Yeah. So, as I given in the first slide, the question is very simple. What is data science? The question is very, very simple. Sure, it has the answer as well, but it is very complex answer actually. So it is not a one-line definition. It is a rather complex definition. It contains a multiple of process events into that definition. So the simplest definition as I given here is data science is a broad field that refers to the collective process, theories, concepts, tools, and technologies that enable the review, analysis, and extraction of valuable knowledge and information from raw data. It is geared toward helping individuals and organizations make better decisions from stored, consumed, and managed data. So, data science is formally known as datalogy. As you all know, data science in simplest form, I'll tell you, the data science is nothing but the extraction of data, extraction of observation or extraction of actionable insights from raw data. Any idea about raw data? What do you mean by raw data? Anyone? Raw data. Raw. Very good. Unprocessed data. Good. So your assessment, some of the questions will be around the raw data. That's why I want to highlight that raw data. Okay. And data science process. So this is the entire data science process. So I want to give it in a higher level. So this data science process contains 5 cycles. One is obtain, next one is scrub, third one is explore and model and interpret. First one is what? Obtain. Obtain is nothing but gather data from relevant sources. What do you mean by gathering data? Any idea? Gathering data. Gather data from relevant sources. Collecting data. Very good.
Collecting data.
Yes, very good. Collecting data. So, for data science, data is the oil. You retrieve it. For example, from surveys, from clinical trials, web scraping, scientific experiments, or corporate applications, you can retrieve it or you can extract it. That is the collection of data from relevant sources. So typically data engineers are dealing with the data. Who are dealing with the data are called data engineers. Yes. What do you mean by scrub?
Surface, something like that.
What? Yes?
Massaging. Scrub. Massage.
Scrub. Yeah, scrub. For vessel cleaning, you will be using scrub, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is the use of that scrub?
Removing the dirt and dust.
Yeah, very good. So here in data science process, the second step is scrub. So that is cleaning of data. The data which is obtained in the first step called obtain is the oil, but that oil will be raw. It will be in the raw format. You need to clean that raw oil and process and combine it to the data you need for analysis and modeling. So actually, if you are digging up oil, so at the first scenario itself, you will be getting clean oil or what?
No, ma'am.
No. So we'll be getting crude oil like something, and yeah, after going a step of refinery process, we'll be getting the clean oil. So like that, we'll be getting raw data from different sources. After getting the raw data, that is oil. That raw data will be cleaned, processed for analysis. And third step is what? Explore. What do you mean by explore? Explore.
Finding new things.
Finding new
Delivering
things. Yeah.
data.
Yeah, delivering data. Very good. So after collecting oil, you will clean that oil. After cleaning that oil, what you will do? You will use that oil for cooking. Right? I am giving simple example. That is what? Explore. So different types of dishes, different types of recipes can be made out of the oil. That is what? Explore. Finding patterns and trends. So that is the third step, explore. Next one is model. Model is nothing but like what? For example, so yeah, I am taking the cooking as an example. So in the third step, we are cooking the known recipes and all. And in model, we are trying out what? New recipes. We are predicting new recipes. That is the fourth step, model. And that is the clean and the pre-processed data is used to train, to create models by using mathematical representation. And last stage is interpret. Interpret is nothing but put the results into good use. So after making everything, that result will be presented to the end user. That result will be presented to the client. So these are the main 5 processes of data science. So I am not going very technical in the second slide. So after going slide by slide, we will be a little bit technical. So first one is obtain, scrub, explore, model, and interpret. These are the 5 important stages of data science. So we cannot stick a single line, that is extraction of data, as a definition for data science. Data science is a vast and very sexiest job in this 21st century. So it contains all these 5 cycles. And next one, who uses data science? So these are the some of the companies who are using data science in a broader way. I hope you all know Facebook, Uber, Swarovski. These are the Twitter. These are the Google. These are the some of the companies who uses data science. This is just for your information. So data science is used in all the fields like manufacturing, oil and gas, agriculture, logistics, politics, automotive. Why I have mentioned here politics? Any idea? Okay. So politics, in politics, using data science, we can, hope you all know about the Loyola College survey. Hope you all heard about the Loyola College survey. Any idea about that? During each and every election? What is the use of that survey, guys? Any idea? That survey is used to predict whether the candidate will win the election or not. So, in that survey, behind that survey, we are having data science. And so data science enables the use of theoretical, mathematical, computational, and other practical methods to study and evaluate data. The key objective is to extract required or valuable information that may be used for multiple purposes such as decision making, product development, trend analysis, and forecasting. Any idea about forecasting?
Weather forecasting.
Very good. Boys, any response? Have you all know about cricket? Boys, have you seen cricket?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in cricket, have you seen any data science type of concept?
No, ma'am.
Have you seen a term called projected score?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the projected score?
Ma'am, that is the expected team score after a particular over,
Yes.
after maximum amount of overs.
There comes data science. So it will predict after 45 overs or after 30 overs how much the team will be scoring. So all that scoring will be based on what? Pitch, historical data, batsman's capability and bowler's capability, everything. So everything will be included and everything will be processed to come out with projected score. So projected score is an best example for your data science concept. I'm stopping here. Any doubts so far?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, that model that you told about the one of the
Yes,
5 entities of the data science, ma'am.
Yeah.
And is it model related to our person's creativity to use to do some projects, or is it something else, ma'am?
Yeah. So how to tell this? So I told just now I told about projected score, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So first one is gather data from relevant sources. Gather data. I'm giving example with relevant to cricket. So gather data is nothing but what? So they will take the weather report, they will take the batsman capability, they'll take the pitch report, they'll take the historical data about the pitch, how the batsman, how the bowlers performed. So all this data will be collected and those data will be cleaned in the second step, and in third step, year by year pattern. So this year how they played, this year how the pitch is performed, year by year or month by month, the patterns will be revealed in the third step. And the fourth step, based on the historical data, what we have collected, what we have cleaned, what we have processed, those data will be used to predict the future model. Okay, that is called as model, like projected score. For predicting the future, for predictive models, you'll be having a set of tools, techniques, and algorithms, not merely based on person's creativity. You can say person's analytical skills. Hello?
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Yeah, this is not merely based on our creativity. It is merely based on computer science, data science, algorithms, techniques, tools. Okay. So that is all about model. Model is completely based on algorithms, different types of algorithms, what he has studied in data structures if you are student of second or third year. So it is completely based on algorithms. Okay. And you say, yeah, if data science come, data scientists plays a vital role. So data science is an individual that practices data science. So techniques include data mining, big data analytics, data extraction, and data retrieval, or termed as data science techniques. And I'll give you a very simple example of data science. So let's start with the broader definition. So you have a large amount of data and you are trying to extract something smart and useful from it. So for that, I'm giving an everyday example. This is the sleep schedules. So there are 4 types of groups. One is Gen Z, second is millennials, third is Gen X, and last one is baby boomers. So based on the age, Gen X is nothing but 13 to 22 years. Boomers is what, 50 to 71 years. So based on age, the people are grouped into 4 types: Gen X, millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers. So these are the sleeping schedules of 4 different groups. So first group will sleep at 12:08 a.m. and wake up at 8:12 a.m. like millennials, like Gen X, like baby boomers. So based on this, so I have taken this everyday example intentionally only, but listen carefully. So you will have a idea about data science after completing this everyday example. So I am sure you have seen smartwatches. You maybe use one too. Hope you all seen smartwatches.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is the use of smartwatches?
For predicting how much steps we have moved.
Yeah, great. So smart gadgets or smart watches can measure how much you walk. Am I correct? How much your heart rate and how
Pulse rate.
pulse rate and your sleep quality. So if you check every single day, how did you sleep the night before? That is the first point for every day. How did you sleep the night before? So one day before, how did you sleep? Let's say that you enjoyed excellent sleep last night. You slept for 8 hours. You didn't move too much. You didn't have short awakenings. So a day before, you had a very excellent sleep. That is the data point 1. So we are having the data 1 now. The day after day, you slept slightly worse. So only 7 or 6 hours. That is another data point. So how we are collecting data, I am telling. So by collecting these data points for a whole month, for the entire month, we are collecting day by day the data points about your sleeping hours. You can start to draw trends from them. You can get actionable insights from them. So based on that, during weekends, usually we'll sleep better and longer. Am I right? Weekends and all, we'll sleep better and longer. So if you go to bed earlier, your sleep quality is better. Or you recognize that you have short awakenings around 2 a.m. every night. So these are some of the insights from your sleep schedules. So after collecting each and every day sleep hours for a whole month, you can come up with, okay, if I go early to bed, I'll wake up early. So I'll be fresh. That is the one output you can get. And so after 30 days, some may get, each and every day I'm getting at 2 a.m. So that is the one output you are getting. So this is the simple example of your data science. So you are collecting your own sleep schedule for a month. After collecting the sleep schedule, you can measure your quality of sleep, how you are sleeping, weekends you are sleeping well, and during weekdays, how you can improve your sleep, how you can feel healthy. So like that and all, you can determine, you can predict using these sleep schedules. So this is a simple example of data science. So and during semesters and all, right, you'll be having very stressful days. Am I right or not? During exams.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Yes. So during exams and all, during exam days, you'll be feeling little bit stressful. During that day, you'll be getting better sleep. Will you be getting better sleep?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No. So you can.
No.
Oh, okay. So after okay, I'm talking about the year data. After getting a year data, you can come up with a solution that okay, during semester times I'm getting less sleep. So for that less sleep, you can prepare yourself for that. Okay. So during that semester exam, you have to what take longer in night. So you have to awake longer at night. So for that, you have to prepare. You can prepare yourself because you're having data points at your hand, and based on that, you can prepare. So during exam times, I have to be wake up till this. So I should be having some snacks, tea, biscuits, exams, exam notes, everything at hand. So these are some of the preparations you can have during that stressful times. So these are the some of the outputs you can have after measuring your sleep schedules for a year. Is that fine, guys? Purida?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and next one. If you have enough data, you can discover not only trends but correlations too. So trends what I told. So during exam times, you'll be getting very little sleep. During weekends, you are sleeping very well. These are some of the trends you are getting from your sleep schedule. That is one of the features of your data science. And not just trends, you can also get correlations too. What do you mean by correlations? Any idea?
Corrections.
Okay. A little bit correlation, association. What do you mean by association? Okay, what do you mean by relationship? What do you mean by relationship? Okay.
Connection.
Very good. Connection. Correlation is nothing but connection or relationship or association between two or more. So in this example, I have given diet and weight loss. Is that visible to you? Diet and weight loss. These two are correlated. These two are associated, guys. Any idea? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah. If you have a proper diet, yes.
Right. We will gain loss or gain.
Very good. So using data science, we not just trends we are predicting, we are determining, we are predicting correlations too. So so you can check out. I am taking again the sleep schedule example. You can check out, for instance, how your sleep quality is affected by how much exercise you got in the given week. So for a week, you are doing some exercise like walking, running, biking, swimming, etc. These can also be measured by smartwatches. Okay. So simple correlation would be one day you took more than 5,000 steps. Okay. If you have taken 5,000 steps in one day, that day you will sleep nicely or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because
ma'am.
your sleep quality was excellent during that one day if you work a lot. So there is a correlation between exercises and sleep quality. Am I right? Are you getting? So data science is not just trends, it do correlations too. Okay. Just imagine the data that the producer of the smartwatch can collect. So for example, you have in this webinar, there are, for example, 100 students. So all 100 students are having smartwatches. Single smartwatch can give very large amount of data. Then 100 smartwatches give how much data? It's a big data you could never even imagine. So in your college, in computer science department, 100 smartwatches can do huge amount of data. In college itself, we are getting huge amount of data. Then all over world, you just think. So data is very, very important for data science. So data is the oil for data science. And next one, 4 types of data analytics. First one, descriptive analytics. Second one, diagnostic analytics. Third one, predictive analytics. And fourth one, prescriptive analytics. These are the, so nowadays there is one more analytics also, that is cognitive analytics. But I'm going to deal only with descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. And what do you mean by descriptive analytics? Any idea? Descriptive analytics is nothing but what happened. Data science is the sexiest job of 21st century. As of now, economic students can go for data science jobs, and commerce students can go to data science. But in the coming future, only computer science students can go to get data science jobs, because coding is very, very important hereafter. Like Java, Python, and all very, very important hereafter. So data science should be combined with computer science. So data science is very, 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 very important for computer science students to get a better job, better salary, better life. So you keep, guys, you please keep that in mind. Okay. First one is descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics is nothing but what happened. What happened? Okay. Okay. If one of you getting fever with cold, what you people will think? With current scenario,
Symptoms of corona.
Great. Symptoms of corona. Okay, what happened? So, if you are having fever, determining that is called as what happened. Okay, this is the symptom of corona. That is called as descriptive analytics. Okay. And next one is diagnostic analytics. Why did it happen? Why did it happen? We didn't wash our hands properly. We didn't. Yeah. So we didn't maintain social distancing properly. We mingle with some corona patients. So that is the diagnostic analytics. And predictive analytics. What will happen if we get corona? What will happen?
They will be isolated.
Okay, great. So you will be quarantined and you will be treated for a cure. That is predictive analytics. What will be the prescriptive analytics?
Taking some medicine or something like that, ma'am.
Yeah, to prevent that. Very good. So these are the 4 types of analytics. Very good, guys. One is descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. So explains what happened, explains why it happened, forecast what might happen, recommends an action based on the forecast. Okay. And data science generally have a 5-stage life cycle that consists of, already I told you, capture, that is uptime, scrub. In the first slide itself, I told you. So here I have explained those things. Capture is nothing but data acquisition, data entry, data extraction, signal reception. Maintain is nothing but data warehousing, that is storing data, data cleansing, data staging. These are the terms you have to know. Computer science students have to know. That's why I have given these terminologies here. And data processing, data architecture. Third one is process, that is data mining. Hope you all have one subject called data mining in 3rd year or in PG. Clustering and classification, data modeling, data summarization. Next one is communicate. Communicate is nothing but data reporting. Any idea about data reporting?
Reporting the data, what you have collected so far, ma'am.
Very good, very good. So while surfing in your mobile or surfing in your system or surfing in your tab, nowadays you are seeing a small pop-up called Corona updates. Have you seen?
Yes, ma'am.
If you click on that Corona updates, it will give you a region-wise statistics or like what worldwide statistics and all. That is called as reporting. And last one is your analysis, that is predictive analysis, prescriptive analysis, qualitative analysis. So these are the some of the terminologies and some of the concepts you should know about data science. And these are the some of the predictive analytics use cases. First one is customer churn. I'm not going to explain all of these things, and some I'll explain. What do you mean by customer churn? Any idea? Okay, customer churn is nothing but okay. Hope you all have, for example, Airtel SIM 5 years or 6 years before. Yes, Airtel or Aircel Idea SIMs. After Jio comes, what happened? Any idea?
People will change according to what they like.
Yes. So they all left their previous brand SIM and they all come to what? SIM. So using predictive analytics, we can determine whether the customer will stay with us. Us means what? Here the clients, Airtel or not, Aircel or not, or Jio or not. So customer churn is nothing but customers leaving from us to get some better thing. That is customer churn. So using predictive analytics, we can determine whether the customer will stay with us or not. And next one is customer segmentation. Any idea about customer segmentation?
Dividing the group of customers.
Very good. Grouping of people. Very good. Very good. Segmenting people. What is the purpose of segmenting people? So, customer segmentation. I have already told you the sleep schedule. So each and every we have 4 groups based on age. So those 4 groups are called customer grouping or customer segmentation. For example, student is one set of groups, professors is another set of group. So students' thoughts will be different from professors' thoughts. So those students will be segregated from professors and they'll put as a group and professors put as a group. That is customer segmentation. So based on the customer segmentation, retailer shops will do campaigning based on the groups. And what do you mean by up and cross selling? Any idea? Upselling means if you are having prepaid SIM, some representative will call you and ask you to what? Make that to postpaid. Okay? That is upselling. Cross-selling means if you are getting a mobile phone, okay, they'll try to sell some headphones or some power bank with that mobile. That is what cross-selling. So these are the okay. So if we are going to buy a mobile, usually if we are going to buy a mobile, with that mobile, some of us will surely buy headphones, not earphones, headphones. So that data they'll be having. So while customers will come, they'll campaign those customers to purchase headphones with mobiles as well. That is upsell and cross-selling. So these are the some of the predictive analytics use cases. If you type customer lifetime value, you will get an idea about that in Google. And sentiment analysis. What do you mean by sentiment analysis? Any idea? Okay, well, in Facebook, if you go and click the like button in some of the pages, so after some time you'll be getting ads about the pages in your Facebook account itself. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that is sentiment analysis. That is how much posts and what are the links the customer liked, or what are the links the customer disliked. So these are the things these are the things determined using sentiment analysis. So these and all, everything based on tools, techniques, algorithms only, guys. So nothing magic or miracle. Everything into our hands only. So we have to study some tools, techniques, and algorithms. So these are the some of the predictive analytics use cases, and we data scientists are working in all these use cases only nowadays. and applications. So data science applications will be in entertainment, insurance, driverless cars, education, automobile, government. So these are all in driverless cars. Hope you all have heard the term IoT, Internet of Things. Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, go and check that. Driverless cars means without drivers, using sensors, the car itself can drive on the heavy traffic roads. So those are all the applications of the data science and big data. What do you mean by big data? So these are all the, yes,
Large amount of data.
large amount of data. As I told you earlier, if you want people smartwatches give a huge amount of data, then millions of people smartwatches give how much amount of data? You just you can't even imagine. So now we are speaking in exabytes. So that is what big data, huge amount of data. Big data is nothing but huge amount of data. Yeah. So big data refers to the large amount of data which is pouring from various data sources and have different formats. All the data what we are collecting from world are not in the same format. Each data will be in different formats. So that's why. And next, the data about the big data. So we are having different types of data. One is structured data, unstructured data, natural language, machine generated, graph based, audio, video and images, streaming. These are all the main categories of data, and these three types we are mainly using in big data. That is structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data. What do you mean by structured data? Structured data na enna? What do you mean by that? Structured data is nothing but the data will be given in a table, rows and columns. That is called as structured data. Semi-structured data is not completely organized, but it will come in XML and JSON formats. That is called semi-structured data. After getting data from XML and JSON formats, we can convert that into table. And last one is unstructured data. Your audio files, your video files, your images, your streaming, everything will be called as unstructured data. So data science plays a vital role in all different types of data formats, whether it can be structured or semi-structured or unstructured. And we have seen in this slide, we have seen 8 V's for big data, but mainly we are going to use first 3 V's. One is variety, and next one is volume, and third one is velocity. What do you mean by volume? Volume. Data volume.
Ma'am, large and the
Yes.
equal amount of data, ma'am.
The size of the data. Am I right? Am I right? The
Yes.
size of the data is called
Yes,
as volume of data. What is variety? Variety, any idea? In the previous I told, right? Structured, semi-structured, unstructured. Those are all variety of data. So we are getting data from different types, from different files. So even the data we are getting from smartwatches is also called as one of the varieties of data. The smartwatches give data as a signals. Am I right or not? Using sensors, it will give you data as signals. And third one is velocity. Velocity is nothing but speed. So these are the main 3 V's of big data. One is variety, next one is volume, and third one is velocity. Nowadays, there is one more V called variability. Variability is nothing but using these 3, variety, volume and velocity, we can use statistics and mathematical evidence, trends and correlations. That is called as variability. So using these 3, we are doing some statistic and mathematical research that is known as variability. Is that clear? Volume is nothing but size, variety is nothing but data type, velocity is nothing but speed, And variability is nothing but using statistical and mathematical evidence, we will be giving trends and correlations between data. So nowadays variability is becoming very, very famous. And this is your area, guys. What are the skills you need to have for data science? So you have to have statistics, that is mathematics, analytical skills, coding. Coding very, 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 very important nowadays. Python, Java, everything depends on coding. Coding and business. So you have to have knowledge in statistics, knowledge in coding, and knowledge in business as well. What do you mean by business here? Any idea? See, data science is not restricted to a single field. It will applicable to healthcare. It will applicable to cricket. It will be applicable to finance and banking. It will be applicable to insurance. So business is nothing but the domain, that is the insurance domain or banking or sports domain or healthcare domain. So if you are working in a single domain, you should be aware of the things around that domain. So if you are going to work in banking, you have to know the retail banking or investment banking details. So for data science, businesses equal importance with coding and statistics as well. And how do I learn more? So you have to learn R, Python, Java, SAS or SQL. SQL is very, 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 very must for data science. And nowadays, without Java, we can't do anything. So Python is the advanced version of extended version of Java only. So a good understanding of math and statistics, and you have to know about the web page, how to scrap a web page, and basic and advanced Excel skills, and big databases, and no SQL like MongoDB, Cassandra, anyone. And cluster computing with Hadoop, Spark, Hive, and MapReduce. These are the sum of the skills. Not all skills you have to know, but you have to know at least SQL or one of the statistical languages. And Excel is must for data scientists. And in future, not in future, in current also, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, predictive analytics, data analysis. These 5 terms are very, very, very important. So, as a computer science student who are going to explore in data science field must know about what is machine learning, what is artificial intelligence, what is deep learning, what is predictive analytics, and what is data analysis. These are all about algorithms only, not nothing else. Only about algorithms, tools, and techniques. So, statistical and mathematical evidence. So, data science is a combination of mathematics, statistics, computers, and what analytical skills. So, these are all about data sciences, applications, and use cases. Any doubts? Guys, any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, entertainment எங்க யூஸ் ஆகுது? நீங்க அத சொல்லுங்க, புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டீங்களா இல்லையா நான் பார்க்கறேன். Hello? I told you, in entertainment we are using data science. So, give some examples for that. Have you heard Amazon Prime? தெரியாம இருக்காது.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Netflix?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
based on the user's choice, user's desires, they'll purchase film and they'll telecast for you. That is one of the applications of data science. So, user choice, how they'll predict the user choice? They'll take the history. History means previous data set of yours. என்ன மாதிரி films நீங்க watch பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, எந்த மாதிரி films உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கு, those are all the data points they'll collect from your previous data history, and based on the previous data history they'll suggest you a film, they'll telecast a film. So that is the entertainment part. And driverless cars, already I told you, that is IoT things. In government also we are using data science. So for elections and all, we are using data science only to predict whether that particular candidate will win the election or not. So there is a huge demand for data science professionals nowadays. So if you explore your career in data science, you'll be having a very bright future. So very, very bright future. So the salary also very, very high in data science, and stress is not that much. Like developers have so much stress, but data science data scientists, yeah, they are having a stress, but not like developers. They can work very smooth and cool way, because if you know algorithms better, no need of coding like developers. Once you know the concept, you can use tools and techniques to develop the concept, and you predict the results or you give the insights. So, and Excel is very, very important. So computer science students will namesake will study Excel during your college days, but Excel is very, 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 very important for data scientists. So without Excel, you can't do anything. So advanced Excel and basic Excel, these two things are very, very important. You have to know about a pivot table. You have to know about lookup, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. You have to know about macro. So Excel is very, very entertaining tool to study. So if you people are lagging in Excel skill, please improve that as well, and in SQL also. So you'll be getting better opportunities in future. Anything else, guys?
Sheila,
Rajini?
there's a question from one of the participants. There's one of the students. What are the courses exclusively for data science? How do we prepare ourselves? And for interview, what all questions they ask in data science?
So
Like if you want to be a data science, how we are supposed to prepare ourselves?
So first you have to know about SQL thoroughly, SQL and Excel thoroughly, and beside that you can take up R programming or Python programming. CBAP is a course, Certified Business Analytics Professional. This course gives overall idea of your data science career. So you can use that CBAP. It is a course name, Certified Business Analytics Professional, and tools you have to know: Excel, SQL must, and any one of the data science tools. So coding nowadays, coding become very, very important. Coding is very, very important. Not coding like developers, but you have to know the logics of codings. So Java is very, very important. Java, Python. So you have to start with Excel and you have to end with BI tool. That is the course curriculum. BI tool is nothing but, I told you about the reporting. Reporting is dashboard preparation. So for dashboard, we are having Power BI. That is a business intelligence tool. BI means business intelligence. Power BI tool, Tableau. So these are some of the BI tools. So starting from Excel, SQL, any of the statistic tools, and finally one visualization tool. BI tool is nothing but visualization tool.
Sheila, my question on behalf of students is, if they learn Java and Python as a basis, they can start preparing for all the tools by themselves, or should they go for a separate course for it?
No, you have to. No need of going separate course and all. So if you know Python and Java, but for data cleaning and all, you have to have hands-on experience.
Okay,
so
and for that, an open source is available for them to learn it up free.
Yeah, R programming is available. Okay. R programming, they can learn it on their own. It is a very nice tool actually. So after learning Python and Java, Python also no need to go for R programming. You can directly go for Python. So Python gives you everything. It is an extension of C++ programming, but it is a Pythonic way of scaling. So many institutions are there for doing courses. Coursera, Edureka, Advances. So many centers are there. I have completed in Advances. I have completed all my courses in Advances only. And Coursera, Edureka will give you free courses as well, self-paced as well. You can learn on your own. But so for analysis, for data science, data analytics, you have to know about data cleansing as well. That is the data preparation. For that, you have to study Python or R programming. R is free. Python is also open source, but SAS is licensed one. So you can go for R programming or Python. Anything else? Hope you all got a little bit idea about data science, and all the very best for your future and for your studies, guys.
Hello.
Rajini?
Hello. Shankar, are you there? Students, do you have any other doubts further? Okay. Shankar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Are you ready for it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1 minute. Sheila, thanks a lot. I think the students would have got an idea about data science. Students, one more thing, whatever languages you are learning right now will definitely be useful in future. Now you will be thinking why we are learning C, C++, Java or Python, because these are the basis. Once when you know the basics of it, it will be useful for you. Right, Sheila?
Yes, Rajini. For Python, Java, and C++ are all important.
Okay. So you have to understand it's a basis. So you have to make sure you learn it thoroughly. So it will be useful for you in future.
Even DBMS, RDBMS as well.
So you have heard about it because she's a person who is working in a company side. Once only when a company side person tells you'll be able to understand. அவங்க சொன்னாதான் உங்களுக்கு புரியும். அதனால தான் சொல்றேன், நீங்க படிக்கிற சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் எல்லாமே யூஸ்ஃபுல். அது தரோவா படிச்சுக்கங்க. மார்க்ஸ்க்கா படிக்க வேண்டாம், அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணி படிங்க. That is the meaning of it. Right. Thank you, Sheila. Now we'll go for the vote of thanks. Shankar, you can start your vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all. I feel honored to give this vote of thanks on this special day. On behalf of all, I would like to thank Sheila Manoranjana ma'am, who gave us an wonderful seminar about data science applications and use cases. Your own ideas and explanations inspired us. Thank you, ma'am. I thank our management and principal for their continued support. I would like to thank our head of the department, Professor Anthony Silvadas Thanamani sir, who made this event possible. I thank our Professor Dr. Manikachalian sir and Mr. Srinivasan sir for their encouragement and support. I also want to thank Professor Dr. Aruchami Rajini ma'am and Maladi ma'am for their valuable contribution. Finally, I would like to thank my dear friends for their cooperation towards this webinar. Thank you all.